I have a lot of goals when it comes to the future of this channel. My greatest hope when you watch a video that I share is that you feel inspired. I want to have many conversations about connecting to our inner source, something I believe that lives inside of us all, the source that guides us, inspires us, and sees us along on our journey in life. It's the part of ourselves that is truly unique to our specific genetic makeup. The part where the most beautiful songs in the world are created and the most magnificent paintings known to mankind come from. The part of us where books are written and delicious recipes are made. That part, our source. This source of creative energy resides in each and every one of us, but it's not always easy to hear it or feel it. Something I like to remember when I'm feeling lost or out of touch with myself is that there is no one on earth quite like us. We are just as unique as every flower in a field of wildflowers in the springtime. We are as unique as every snowflake that falls from the sky. We cannot be duplicated or replicated. How magical is that? While being a human in today's world comes with more advantages than I could list off, it also comes with a lot of distraction that can sometimes lead to the separation of self. Social media, news, and toxic productivity are just a few things that I personally feel bombarded with on a daily basis. And while I truly believe at the end of the day, it's our responsibility to manage our use of media and consumption of news, this is not a skill many of us were raised to develop. Being a millennial, I was a kid in a very different world than the one we live in today. I knew it was time to come home when the streetlights turned on. I had no choice but to watch commercials on TV and listen to the ads on the radio. I had a pen pal because texting a friend who moved away was just not an option. My childhood had a lot of obstacles that were the foundation of my patience. Those obstacles have vanished before my eyes, and at times I get frustrated when a Google search takes longer than a second to populate. I could not imagine listening to someone talk in the middle of my playlist. To put it in a more simple way, I didn't have access to modern technologies. I spent some time living overseas in my early 20s, and during those years I didn't have a smartphone or much access to the internet. It wasn't until I arrived back in America at 24 that I bought a new phone and was catapulted into this digital world we are all living in today. And to be completely honest with you, I quickly became addicted to it all. I started spending more time consuming media than I did creating, more time on Netflix than out in nature exploring and learning. Finding a healthy balance between both worlds has been something I've been working towards ever since then. The thing I'm realizing more and more is that this open channel of communication we have with our source is not guaranteed. While we all have the ability to be innovative and creative, if we are blocked off from that part of ourselves, we will never be able to make anything of it. It would be as though it never existed at all. I hear many people make statements that they are not musicians, painters, writers, or anything creative. And then I think of those times in my childhood, while in elementary school, when we would all be given art supplies to create with, and every single person in my classroom would end the session with a piece of artwork completed, big grins and hearts full of joy for the beautiful thing that they brought into the world. I remember times in music class when we were all told to pick an instrument, and as a class we would make music together as one, with the participation of every person in the room. And when we would finish a song, all the faces around me would beam full of joy from the beautiful melodies we were able to bring into the world. And then we get older, distracted, ashamed, and pressure starts to seep in. joy is no longer derived from what we are able to create, but instead from the material status we are able to acquire. And if I've learned anything from growing up in this specific time in American capitalism, it is that the joys of materialism are fleeting, and the dopamine we get after a purchase lasts a couple weeks at best. But the joys of putting something out into the world that is entirely and uniquely ours, well, that is the framework of legacy, and the joy we get from that is something I believe can last many lifetimes. I found painting at a time in my life when I desperately wanted to get reacquainted with that childlike part of myself again. When creating wasn't about being the best, it was just about being myself. If you get anything from the videos I share on this channel, I hope it is an inspiration to find that source within yourself. Do the things in life to help you get reacquainted with it and foster and care for that relationship. Maybe you already are connected to it and can share more with those around you the importance of tapping back into ourselves. It is within that source that true human healing and connection is born. Something I can confidently say is that we are a people who need so much healing, not only from our own lives, but from all the lives that have come before us. And we are a people who so desperately need to become connected to one another once again. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.